Welcome to this week's edition of your favorite motoring show, eNCA Drive. Old and new, it's all here. Car sound is as synonymous with Durban as the bunny chow. But louder is not necessarily better. We hung out at East End Customs to see and hear how it's meant to be done. It's said if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Rowan Naidu lives this phrase at East End Customs. Rowan, thanks for inviting us into your store. I feel a bit like a kid in a candy store, as they say. There's just too much to look at around me, and I feel like I need to spend a week here. So I just want to start with you, your story firstly, and how you got into this line of work, and ultimately how you got into owning this business.
This was never something that I intended doing. Obviously, it started off as a hobby that grew into a business. I was actually very much employed in the sector, and throughout the years, and it was a time when the company that I worked for actually closed up, and so I just saw the opportunity, and obviously went on my own.
So you were that young boy, probably like myself and many other boys, that was always fiddling with the sound system and things like that.
Yes, very much so. So we always started off, experimenting, and I'm not sure whether you've done it, but I know back in the day we couldn't afford car audio equipment. We were putting our hi-fi speakers into cars and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah, I also blew up a lot of things in the process of trying to find out how sound worked. Naidu is still very hands-on, and through consistency has ensured his work speaks, or maybe sings, for itself. We know that car sound installers are a dime a dozen. You find them all over the place, from those guys doing it in their backyards to the guys that have shops like yourself. What is your secret ingredient?
Apart from the service that we provide during the course of the installation, from the initial onset right up until delivery, when the guy leaves here, he must leave here knowing that he got his money's worth.
So you're selling customer service?
That's basically, that's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what drives our business.
So, how much do I need to budget to get a nice boot install done?
To give you an idea, an average car sound system, if it's good quality, and depending on the vehicle that we install in, it could vary anything from 7,500 Rand. At the moment I'm busy quoting a customer for a 90,000 Rand sound system.
The car audio world is addictive. Just ask Shadrach Govender. Where did this passion start? What was the first vehicle that you brought here, where the bug bit?
Okay, so it started when I was quite young. I come from a very humble beginnings. As a young child growing up, you have aspirations of wanting to have and own these things, but affordability obviously was an issue. So at some point I got a job, a decent one, and then we bought the Corolla. It's a 2004 180i GSX. That was the first car that East End Customs did.
And certainly not the last. In fact, more than a dozen of Govender's cars have passed through here since then.
So I went a couple of years ago, I think it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I went through this phase where I just started buying things that I liked. I bought, the Chev was, I think the first actual collector's car that I bought. And then we picked it up and I brought it straight to East End. Rowan did his magic there, as you can see. And then I bought a VW Beetle, an SP 600 twin port.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah, it's my hobby. And then I bought the Mustang, the 69 GT Boss, and the XR6 that's in the back.
But that's your pride and joy.
Yeah, I love the way the car has come out. It's very clean. I mean, you saw it. It's very nice. So I have a passion for cars. I always have. And it's just, God's been good. So why not?
Although car audio is a subjective thing, there are also clear do's and don'ts.
It's not just a matter of putting in a box and an amplifier. It will, in terms of new cars, we've got to take into account the vehicle, the charging system, the electrics. A lot of times the vehicle dealers will limit us to the kind of brands that we can actually fit, because obviously it's all about consequential loss. So, whatever we fit in that vehicle, we must know that at the end of the day, that is not going to put any additional strain on the vehicle itself.
Enjoying a little eardrum tickle now and then doesn't necessarily mean you have to be brash about it. I mean, check out this GTI.
Everybody wants it to be practical. I mean, we want to have sound, but we don't want to have the big boxes in the boot, and we don't want to be unplugging and taking out and all of that. So wherever the opportunity presents itself, we find innovative ways to conceal and obviously put sound into a car where it's completely unobtrusive.
Naidu is a firm believer in quality over quantity. Talk to me about some of your memorable builds that you've done.
We do a wide variety of installations. It's not just custom car sound. We get a chance to build special vehicles. We do mobile offices, response vehicles. We do party buses.
Now, before you start hacking up your boot, here's some sound advice.
A lot of people have got this in their mind, and people have got this perception that car sound, if it's loud, it's nice. It's not entirely true. I mean, you know what? It's a completely different ballgame. It's how you. Music is an emotion, okay? So you've got to enjoy it. So being loud doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. So you've got to enjoy it. It's got to be clear. You've got to have the ability to play it loud if you ever want it to be loud. But the most important thing is that you've got to enjoy it.
eNCA Drive's newest member, Nqobile Madlala, gets into the front seat of the all-new BMW 4 Series Coupe to see if it's worth all the hype.
Behind me is the brand new BMW 4 Series Coupe. My name is Nqobile Madlala, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm joking! Welcome to eNCA Drive. Let's have a look at what happened at the media launch. Come with me. The 4 Series is actually available in 3 variants at the moment in South Africa, and it would be sacrilege for me if I didn't speak about the oh-so-controversial, yep, you guessed it, the kidney grill. If I hear the word controversial about this thing one more time, I'm going to scream. Because honestly, in the metal, this grill is actually not half as bad. It's not half as offensive, it's not half as distasteful. Looking at it, I think I'm in love. The 4 Series is available in 2 petrol models and 1 diesel model, which is the 420 that we're in now. The 420i, which is the entry-level 4 Series, you're looking at a base price of about 755,000. It pushes about 135 kilowatts. 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds. It's an entry level, so that's completely understandable. Then you've got the 420d, which does about 140 kilowatts at 7.1 seconds, 0 to 100. So it's about 4 seconds faster than the entry-level 420i. Then for the first time ever, BMW actually has introduced the 440i, the X-Drive, the all-wheel drive, which retails at a base price of about 1.1 million rand. So if you've got $1 million sitting around, you can go for the 440i. That does 0 to 100 in about 4.5 seconds and pushes out 275 kilowatts. So it's a good performance car. The other two models also come in M Sport packages. So if you want to upgrade, you can definitely do that. But if you've got $1 million, like I said, you can always go for that 440. So getting into the 4 Series feels very familiar if you are a BMW driver. Everything is very intuitive. If you're not, might take some getting used to. But what I do like about the cockpit is that your screen, your touch screen, your navigation screen is very interactive. It's got Android Auto and it's also got Apple Play, which is great. You've got your BMW communication. The screen picks up a lot of fingerprints quite easily, which can be quite annoying, and it gets dusty very quickly. That's something that I don't think is the most ideal. Navigate using your trackpad throughout everything if you're not touching your screen. You've got your gear lever and your digital screen, which initially I feel can be quite confusing if you're not a BMW driver. But these are new, so it takes some getting used to. But yeah, then you've got your adjustable steering wheel, as with any BMW. I just like to drive really low with the steering wheel. Got your Harman Kardon sound system, which comes standard in the 420D. So quite an interactive cockpit, quite a comfortable cockpit. I like it. Yeah. Practicality is also very important when purchasing a vehicle. So what we're going to do now is the boot test. And judging by that, I think you should be good with your extra groceries for the month. Because the coupes are not necessarily very back passenger friendly, what I do like about the 420D is that once you pop this for the passenger to go into the back, kind of slides its way forward. But thanks to driver memory, once you put it back, it sets itself back into your driver position, which is, you never really have to shuffle like other coupes. So that's a good thing. I've always believed that a brand needs to evoke emotion from its consumers. And I think with the BMW 4 Series Coupe, BMW have done just that. They've hit the nail right on the head. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, you certainly have a very strong opinion on it. So as for my opinion, I think if you're looking for progressive, impressive, and expressive, the 4 may just be the right vehicle for you.